Good morning, everybody. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day so far. Hey, look, today is the day. Red, you know, me and the mules has already done our part on cutting the timber, skidding the timber. Now we got to get all that timber out of that hole down there. And I ain't gonna lie, I've been nervous about it the whole time since we started this deal. You know, as I've told y'all before, when you're logging or doing a job that's kind of dangerous, sketchy, so to speak, you need to have an idea of what's going to happen before it happens. With this down here, I can't say I don't have 100% certainty on whether or not this is even going to work. However, I have done a few things to prepare for it. I've widened the road. We've let it dry out. Got rain coming in right after Christmas. Today's Christmas Eve. I've let it dry out as long as I can. And we need to get this wood out of this bottom before it rains again. I've also bought a set of tire chains for Red here, and we're going to throw them on. That'll give him a little extra traction coming up that hill. And, you know, we're just going to start out with, you know, like a third to a half a load, and we'll work it up from there and just see kind of what he can do. But we got to be extra careful today. And I would rather just go and come and not haul a big load than to try to come out with too much and, you know, it tears something up. So let's get the tire chains on Red, and then we'll get down here and start hauling logs out. I've already got the skid steer cranked up, and it's over there warming up. Gonna crank up Red, let him warm up, and while he's warming up, we'll throw the chains on. All right, y'all. So we've got these things on here. Again, this is just some peace of mind for me. It might have done it with just the tires. These are pretty aggressive off-road tires. I don't know, it might have worked, it might not have. But anything I can do, y'all, this is the only way I've got to haul in logs. Red is the only mode of transportation I have of hauling my logs, and I got to take care of Red. So we're going to be real easy with him, and let's ease on down this bottom and see what we can do.
Now y'all, while editing this video, I was trying to decide what footage would go and what footage would stay. And here I'm loading out tie logs. And I thought, you know, this is a pretty cool clip because of the way the skid loader is being able to pick up these 5 tie logs like right now. It shows the strength and efficiency of the skid steer. This 110 horse skid steer is a really nice machine. It's been a blessing for me to have it. So I am thankful. However, when we start coming out on the next clip, it's not going to be of the tie log, it's going to be of the grade. So it's a little bit out of sequence, and I did want y'all to know that. But I did want you to see this part of us loading out the ties. Now, throughout this video, I tried to get you several different angles of us coming in and coming out, so that way maybe I could capture, you know, what it's actually like coming in and out of here.
PV's right here, handy, and also my dump handle. All right, so now we're unlocked. I can go around to the other side and start dumping logs off. Now again, it's already unlocked on the other side. Now all I got to do is pull the lever and the logs just start coming off. There, y'all, that is nice. I like that. Oh, that's less work for me. Oh, me. All right, that's all of them. Let's go back and get another.
Now, y'all, since it's pretty tight down there where the mini deck is, I've been backing in and pulling out. I did pull straight in the first time and managed to get turned around, but it's pretty tight and took more time, you know, trying to get turned around than it did just to, you know, take my time backing in, if that makes any sense.
Tried to save y'all. pick up how steep it is. Don't matter how good of a camera you got or how good of a cameraman you are, it still don't ever show the steepness of a place. Everybody, I'm eating my lunch now. I have people ask me a lot on YouTube, Zach, what do you do for lunch? Well, most of the time I don't eat, especially when it's real hot. I just can't work when I'm full and hot too. It don't work for me. But my wife does send these little Nutri-Grain bars with me, and I do like to eat one of them at lunchtime, or two, sometimes even three, depending on how hungry I am. Oh me. Anyway, we're about 3/4 of the way done. It's just a little after lunch now, and we're 3/4 of the way done with the wood as far as getting it out. Now I'll have to sort it up there on the deck and stack it and all that mess. And I've already stacked the ties. We've got them up the hill, and I stacked them in their own place and made a bunch of room, for the grade, because there was a lot more grade, long logs and stuff than there was ties, thankfully. There's a lot of poplar down here in this bottom, so there was a lot of 14-foot poplar. And there was a little bit of white oak too. I'm thankful on the poplar end though, just being able to get out of here. Them oak, we would have to go a lot slower had it be oak, but the oak would pay more, so, it's kind of, one way or the other, depending on how you look at it, I guess. Red's doing a good job coming out of here with these loads. It's cutting down just a little bit up here on the side of this hill. But now, y'all, I'm gonna tell you something. If you've ever wondered whether or not tire chains work, I'm gonna tell you right now, absolutely they work. And if it weren't for them tire chains, I wouldn't be able to get out of here. I just don't think them tires would have enough grip to get on up that hill. But them tire chains are bite hard, and Reds was able to get traction and going up the hill. I'm also thankful for Red's transmission, that 5-speed with the 2-speed rear end. It's kind of sort of like having an 8LL transmission, an 800 in a dump truck, to where like when you get in some soft ground, you can put it in double low and get through the soft ground, and then if you want to speed up a little or you need to, go to the next gear, you can just reach over and flip your switch and let off the accelerator and right back on it, and you can keep right on going. Whereas if you had to actually move the gear lever, clutch it and move the gear lever, you would be stuck right then. Red is sort of similar to a truck with a double low because of the 2-speed rear end. You can go from first low to first high just by the flick of a switch, let off the accelerator, right back on it, and it's able to get on out of here, pretty good. We've been doing pretty good, been hitting a pretty good lick. I've had to track up to the deck a couple times to push some logs off. And that's another thing I want to tell y'all about. This old side loader, y'all, has still got its place in my operation anyway. Because like right now, I only got one skid steer. So I'm able to load the log truck with the skid steer. But when we get up yonder at the main deck, I don't have a loader up there. So I can just drop these two. I can hit my dump and drop these two on this side. And most of the time, y'all, 3 or 4 logs will come off at one time anyway, when I hit the dump lever. And that's nice, because then that's less work I have to do. And also up there where I'm dumping at, it kind of sits on a hill, kind of downhill a little. And my truck's on the downhill side, so I don't have to, work so hard trying to roll them off. Most of the time I can just bump them with a PV and they go right on off. So that's nice. So this old truck still got its place, y'all. Yeah, I do want a tandem axle truck. It'd be nice to have a double bunk tandem axle truck with a big diesel engine in it, something I could go on down the road and, haul 3 times as much, 3 times as much weight would be nice, and would cut my mill hauls down, dramatically, time-wise and mileage and everything. But this old truck still got its place, y'all, and it's earning its keep today. In fact, if I didn't have this old truck, I wouldn't be able to get this timber out of this bottom the way I'm doing it. We would have had to come up with something else, and you know, it might have been harder on the mules and me too, had I not had this old truck. So anyway, I thought I'd talk to you a little bit while I was eating my lunch, and I'm gonna take y'all out with me a few times, and I'm gonna set the camera up and let y'all watch Red go up this hill. It's a it's a ride coming in and out of this thing, I tell you. I kind of got worried about it getting a little slick, you know, coming down that hill, but so far it's not been slick. It's been a little soft, and Red is cutting down just a little bit, making some ruts going up through there a little bit. But it ain't been slick, thank goodness for that. And I've kind of got me a place watered out now, so when I go up through there, I just stay in the same ruts and just keep right on going. And them tire chains, I tell you, in times past, it has been a good practice on these old side loaders to just put a tire chain on the outside dual. And I'm sure that works just fine. But if you got two of them on there, surely if you got both duals chained up on both sides, two is always better than one, gotta be in this situation, you know, for traction wise anyway. Anyway, though, I mean, it's working. You know, it ain't the fastest, you know, production method, but I'm just one man, one log truck, one skid steer, and one pair of mules. You know, I think we did pretty good. We've got out probably somewhere between 10 and 12,000 feet in the last week and a half. And for, you know, for the way I work and the pair of mules that I've got and the way we do things, I think that's pretty doggone good. We've been really turning it up, working hard. Kate and Alice have done me a real good job. A lot of this timber's been able to come downhill. That's helped us a lot, being able to go downhill with it. They have been able to pull some mighty big drags downhill. And when you start going uphill, oh man. And that's why I wanted to, you know, use a truck like I'm using now, skid all this timber to the low spot, load it on the truck, and then go out. That's the best way I found to do it. You don't want to go uphill unless you have to. Let me finish my lunch right quick, and then we'll head on out of here. Took my lock off on this driver's side. Now I've just got to pull the lever and let the stands fall and the logs roll off. here, it's got a big bowl in it. It may take me a little bit to get it off. I'll bring y'all around here on the side where you can see. I knew it was going to be aggravating. I should have put it on top. Side loader truck and also my log wagon. I've done it a good bit, so I kind of know sort of how to go about it, what to look for and whatnot. But you got to be careful. These logs ain't gonna take no mercy on you, that's for sure. Easier coming downhill. Much easier. Like I said, I don't have two loaders, so I can load the truck, which is the most efficient way, and then come up here and just dump them off. That works all right. It's still a lot of work, but you know, it beats all turning. It's a lot better than having to pull all them logs up that hill.
Now y'all, on these longer logs, the grade stuff, most of it's like 12 and 14 foot stuff, and of course this is poplar, so poplar is lighter than oak for sure. However, if you compared the grade to the tie logs, you know, we was able to get like 10 and 12 tie logs on a load coming out of this bottom, whereas on the grade stuff, the long logs, you know, I was getting like 6 and 8. Just because it depended on how much oak was in it, because oak is a good bit heavier. It's half again more heavier than the poplar. But we was getting like 6 and 8 long logs and like 10 tie logs. You know, if that gives you an idea in the difference, you know, of the cuts. Those long logs will stack up more footage a whole lot quicker. And the more footage you have, the more weight you have, obviously.
got this load and one more, so I'm kind of splitting the two. Trying not to get too heavy, but I also don't want to be too light either. Because I'm afraid if I don't get enough weight on the back end of this thing, it'll go to spinning out. You know, we don't want to do that. So I think I've got 6 logs on this load, and then the next load will be 5 logs, but they're bigger. So hopefully we won't have no trouble getting up this hill. If we do, we'll back down here and load an extra log on, or 2, and I'll just take the last ones out with the skid steer, because I know it'll get it up the hill. Anyway, I'll turn y'all around here where you can watch us go out. Once I kind of get up that little old hump, I let off of it just a little bit. You know, point in being harder on the truck than we gotta be. But like right up here in this little spot, right up here, it's kind of, it's just a little soft. It ain't bad. Y'all, you know how hard we've been pushing to get this bottom cut out here on the Collins tract. Here it is, Christmas Eve, and we have really worked the last week and a half or so, 2 weeks, week and a half, I think. I can't remember. All my days are running together. Anyway, y'all, we have really turned and burned the last little while, and thankfully, I'll turn around here and show you. Thankfully, we've made it. We've got the bottom cut out. Everything is out. All the wood is up. I think. We've got 2 ricks of tie logs over there. We've got one really big rick of poplar here. And I wish y'all could be here, standing here looking at it. Man, it's a lot. And then over here on the end, down here on the end, we've got some white oak. I'll show you. It's not a whole lot, but there is some white oak, you know, that come off this place, off this bottom down here too. And, you know, we were very careful with the, you know, the trees that we took, the white oak, poplar, and everything. We wanted to take mature timber and let the young timber stay and grow. And I just wanted to show you, you know, like if you compare tie logs and poplar, the poplar was definitely the greatest volume, percentage of volume down in this hole. And then probably tie logs is next. But now look how much the high grade white oak is. It's not a whole lot, y'all. You know, and the white oak is what we use to bump our averages up on our numbers. Some people only cut white oak. I don't get to do that very much. I cut a lot of tie timber, and I have to make mine up in volume, not in you know, the quality, I guess you would say. Mine has to be made up in quantity. But I did take time to slick the road back down in here. And I want to show you all that. And then I slicked the deck down because we're supposed to get a little bit of rain. And I just didn't want no rain puddling up in these ruts that I made with the truck. And here on the deck, because we have got a lot of hauling to do. I don't even know, because I hadn't even counted all the loads yet. I don't even know how many loads we got to haul. I'm thinking somewhere, I'm thinking around 9 loads, considering what we had left before this job started, plus what we've already put out here. And as y'all can see, I've slicked the deck down out here, and then I'm gonna take y'all down here and show you the road too. But we've got a lot of hauling to do, so I want to do everything I can to be preventive in this place not becoming a big mud hole, if you can get what I'm saying. And I don't know how much good I've done, you know, coming down here scraping the road down, but the ruts is not here, and hopefully the rainwater that hits it will kind of just, you know, run off instead of puddling up real bad. That was kind of my intentions. And I may have to hit it again after it rains, you know, no big deal. So let me flip this camera around here and I'll walk y'all down here and show you. All right, now here's where we've been going in and out of the woods. I mean, as y'all can see, we're right here on the deck area. So right here's where we've been going in and out and coming down this hill. It ain't too awful bad. Wasn't too bad of an ordeal. The ground is still a little soft, but with no more load than we had on Red, you know, and Red's not a real big heavy truck either. It didn't tear things up too bad. And the good thing is we just tore it up in one place. You know, it ain't tore up all out here in the timber. It's just one road down here that's tore up, and like I say, I done my best to fix it, make it back right as best I could. Anyway, it's nice and peaceful out here, y'all. It's quiet. Birds are chirping every once in a while. Might see a squirrel run by. But it's pretty nice. But as you can see, you know, I've been down through here and made a couple swipes with the skid steer. And, you know, got everything slicked off. I'm not going to walk all the way down there, y'all, because I done been up and down this hill a few times a day, and it's wearing me out, to be honest with you. But I just want to take time and show you, you know, this is all part of it too. This is more what I call finish work. And I'm not really finished down here. There's a couple tops over there, and back over in there, I got to pull back with the skid steer. But the main thing is I want to come in here and blade this down, so that way if we get a hard rain or whatnot, it's not going to, you know, wash out and just be a complete mess, if that makes sense. Thank all of you for hanging out with me today. I know this video hadn't been the most exciting videos. It has been to me, because this is something this has been a challenge that we've had to overcome on this track of timber. And it was a little bit outside my comfort zone, a little bit outside of what I was sure of. Because remember, I told you, you know, when you're logging, being around these mules and all that good stuff, you got to have an idea of what's going to happen before it happens. Because you can get killed, you can get hurt really bad out here doing this stuff. And you know, this was a little bit outside of my comfort zone, but I took the advice of a fellow logger, a friend of mine, Jeff Fergie. Jeff recommended I get tire chains for my truck. And Jeff, thank you if you're watching. I appreciate it, buddy. There's no doubt in my mind, y'all, that if we hadn't put these tire chains on Red here, we wouldn't have made it out. There's no way around it. No doubt about it is what I'm trying to say. TireChange.com, y'all. They can fix you up if you need a set. I'm glad I spent the money and got these. These were about $400 for, you know, both sides. A pair for the duals, and I'm glad I done it. It was money well spent for sure. Anyway, thank y'all again. I appreciate y'all coming and hanging out with us. And I hope everyone has a super duper Merry Christmas. We do plan on getting the kids together and some of the family, maybe Mr. Summers. Mr. Summers has been having a little trouble with his, he's been having a bunch of tests run and everything, and been having a lot of doctor's appointments, so he hadn't had as much time to play with his mules as normal. But hopefully in the next couple of days, y'all, I can take off and get over to see him, and maybe we can all hook up the wagon and go for a big ride, and we'll take y'all with us, and you know, we'll just have a good jolly time. Look, thank you for all of you hanging out. I really appreciate it. All the likes, comments, subscribes, all that good mess. Look, thank you. For those of you that don't comment, I encourage you to do so. And thank you all for commenting on the last video. I could tell a big difference in the comments. It really helps our videos, y'all. When you comment, it pushes the algorithm of YouTube. I don't understand all of it. I just know that when you get more comments and whatnot, that it will push the algorithm to where your videos will get circulated. So it helps us here on the channel to get our videos out and whatnot. So anyway, I'm gonna put my email up here on the screen as always. If any of you need me, holler at me. I'd be glad to talk to you. And I hope you've all had a great Christmas. By the time this video comes out, it'll be Christmas. But I hope all of you have had a great Christmas. And I love you all, and I appreciate you. And as always, I'm going to be praying for you because, as I always say, I'm sure y'all need the prayers and I need to practice. So y'all have a good one, and I'll see you next time.